Were you bullied?
How'd you ever guess?
I had a bully when I was about your age, and then one day just stopped.
What happened?
He died of the Spanish flu. It was a different time.
Who'd like to go live on the radio?
The old man had a way of spinning small-town news that made the mundane seem earth-shattering.
2 men killed, 1 seriously.
I want to hear from you. What is the recipe for making a laugh out loud comedy?
There is no surefire recipe. It's I don't know, what is the most volatile recipe? A souffle? Like we're talking about a souffle here, I guess. There are pieces you look for and you think about that go into the making of a comedy, but there's never any guarantee. You really, as a producer and working with the showrunners, you kind of assemble these pieces. You think they work together. You kind of test it, but it's all being tested in a vacuum, and you hope when you release it to the world, it finds an audience. And for me, what I feel that recipe is it's comedy with heart. It's comedy that doesn't rely on jokes. It's comedy that relies on character and story. It's comedy that uses comedy to have a bigger message. And I think it's those are all kind of ways to have audiences connect and invest in the characters in the show. So when I, believe it or not, when I look for shows to get excited about, I want to not only laugh, but I want to cry. I want to just feel it. And I think that we definitely have done that with Son of a Critch. We did it with Schitt's Creek. And so that's my best way to answer what the recipe is. It's kind of those things. It's kind of this elusive thing. And at the same time, what you need is the cast needs to be incredible. And it's like, how do you casting becomes so important. So you're leaning on your casting directors and the decisions that your showrunners are making. The writing team has to just be so aligned on the tone and the sensibility and the direction the show is going.
Well, it's not every day we get steak, but the first day of school is a very special day.
It's not steak. It's moose meat.
Oh my God. Moose is just a boy cow.
You get the crap eaten out of you, or what?
Fox! One of the things that I love so much about the show is the nostalgia factor, because, the show is just going to be airing in America. The familiarity for me is like obviously the family element, but also I'm a child of the 80s. I grew up in the 80s, and you tapped into that so well. I want to hear how you chose to fully immerse the audience in that era. What are some instrumental things that you really wanted to portray about that era?
Yeah. Well, first, the other part of the first question, which I think connects to the second question, is just the importance of authenticity in storytelling. And if you are, we took a very serious approach to that. And when it was decided to be set in the 80s, which really it wasn't a decision because it was based on a memoir of Mark Critch about growing up in the 80s. But when we decided to steer right into it, it's like we have to do it right. And you have to, the lunch boxes need to be correct. The Walkman needs to be correct. The cassette tapes, the furniture, all of that. And a lot of care was put into just committing to that authentic feeling and the authentic nature of the show. And that was really the instruction to the department heads. Wardrobe had to be right. Props needed to be right. The sets that are built had to be right. And in a lot of cases, the home in particular, we rebuilt Mark Critch's house, childhood house. And he would walk through it and he will tell you how surreal that was, where it's like he entered a time machine to 30 years ago, and he was seeing things in the house that were actually in his own house. and the placement of the furniture and things like that, the posters on the wall. And that was just, it had to be the way. And I mean, Mark's there, you know, we want Mark to just feel that. And he's playing his father and he has to kind of just take it all in. And I will tell you, like, one of the biggest roles on the show is our clearance person who's clearing all the posters that are on the walls and everything that goes into making it authentic. And we didn't build a lot of posters. We made sure that we were getting authentic, even like the Star Wars bed sheets and things like that. Those are genuine and from that era.
Son of a Critch airs Mondays on the CW. Make sure you check it out. I'm Sari Cohen. I'll see you next time.